Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. It's try number 3 for me to get this Pontiac started for the first time since 2000. I don't know if you saw the last episode, part 4. I'll link to it up here and down in the description. But I basically tried to get it started with the distributor 180 out. And it's the classic rookie move that a lot of people make, and I've seen people make, and I thought for sure that I didn't do that, but I'm a moron. Class 1, grade A moron. You look up moron in the dictionary, there's probably not a picture of me because, kind of ugly, but it still describes me pretty well. But I'm going to try again because I'm going to keep going until I get this damn thing started. So I got a few things to do first before I can try again. So let's get to it. In trying to diagnose the problem, I realized that I was not at top dead center. My friend Clayton, who was here helping me, let me know. He probably thought for sure that it was not at top dead center, but because I was going based on where I had taken the original rotor out, the mark of that rotor, and based on the fact that my marks were lining up on the balancer, that I was at TDC. But what I did was I actually spun the motor and went all the way around until this. I actually put this paper towel in the hole. It popped out when I went all the way around. And then when I looked at it, I could actually see, I took the cap off and I can see that the rotor is actually pointing more towards number 1, like it should be. So I basically had it pointing back here towards sort of the 11 o'clock position, and it's now pointing towards the front of the engine. So I had that completely wrong. That was on me. One of the commenters even suggested that we were 180 out, and sure enough, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. That's why we were getting that backfiring. And so yeah, I'm gonna basically go ahead and get this set back up. I'm gonna get all the wires in the correct position and going to install the new carburetor because, well, new carburetor. But the only problem I'm having is right now it won't fit. This is a little, maybe a half an inch, quarter of an inch clearance, and I'm just not getting it. So I've ordered a carb spacer. Carb spacer, not a bad thing to have, but I got a Mr. Gasket spacer that'll take it up an inch. And that will actually help with any kind of hot start problems I might have as well. But and I've got the longer studs anyway, so it all works out well. But just that little bit of clearance is the only thing stopping me from putting this together right now. Once that spacer gets in, I will get that installed, get all of this hooked up, start off again with the new distributor, and see if we can't get her started. The carb spacer is here. Got a little Mr. Gasket setup. I was going to do one of the cheapy Amazon versions, but a lot of people's reviews said that they weren't very smooth or straight. So I wanted to make sure I had a nice, good, smooth, straight surface. Alright. Got that on. Got the spacer on, and the second gasket. All right, now let's make sure we've got enough clearance with the carb. Let's see. Oh, that is perfect. Perfect, perfect. Got about an inch clearance. We're up a little bit. The only problem I think I'm going to have is clearing up here. But this should work. I've got enough room for my fuel line to connect. So yeah, let's go ahead and button up this carb. Every time something is hard, I think, why can't this be easy? And the biggest thing that I hate is when somebody says, well, if it were easy, everybody'd be doing it. But you know what? I just want it to be easy. I don't care if everybody else is doing it. I want other people to be doing it. If it's easy, then I'm happy. No, it can't ever be easy. It's gotta be a pain in the ass every single time. Something about this will be a pain in the ass. Jesus. Let's see, I've got my clutch. Choke is hooked up. This goes. Oh, I should have taken that rubber off. There we go. All right, vacuum lines hooked up, choke is hooked up. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with the PCV. On the other carburetor, it basically plugged in over here on the side. I don't have that here. I guess maybe I could plug it into this one up front. But I don't think that's what that's for. I'll have to think of something. Alright, so I got the vacuum lines, just need to hook up the throttle cable. Alright, got the throttle cable on there. Just got to get this little cotter pin. There it is. All right. Throttle cable is good. Just got to hook up this return spring. And we are good to go. All right, last thing is our fuel line. Okay, and then the two clamps, and I'll tighten those down and we should be good to go. Okay, I've got the clamp on there. I think I've got everything hooked up except for the PCV. And like I said, if I ran it down there, that might be too low on the carb. I don't know. But everything else is hooked up. Throttle cable, return spring, all the vacuum lines. The brake booster line is capped in the back because I do not have power brakes. So yeah, other than PCV, that's it. Just got to figure out what to do with that. Good news. After a little bit of research, I found that this can actually be used for the PCV hose. So I actually don't need the super long one anymore. I can cut it and plug it in right down there. There we go. Comes up from the valley pan and down into that port. Perfect. So yeah, carb's all hooked up. Here we are. Take 72 as I try to get this thing started up. Got the carb in, everything hooked back up. Got the distributor set correctly, I believe. Had to get a couple new spark plug wires. Some of them didn't quite reach. It's a little bit of a mess, gotta fix that. But my big concern is basically going to be leaking from these two. I don't like how far out it's threaded. I just actually watched a video last night. Dalton at Pole Barn Garage had the exact same setup. He had just as much thread sticking out on both of these, and sure enough it leaked on him in that episode. So I don't have a whole lot of faith that this isn't going to leak. Hopefully it doesn't leak. so bad that I can't attempt to start it. So yeah, that's where the fingers are crossed, and hopefully we can get this thing going and there's not going to be any major leaks. But I've got everything else set up that I think should be set up correctly with the distributor and the carb and everything else. So let's give it a whirl. Let's get the negative cable on. It feels nice and tight. Got our dome light. I'm not going to try to actually start it. I'm just going to pump it and see if I've got any fuel leaks. Which, the way everything else has been going, I can't imagine I wouldn't have fuel leaks. But we'll see. Only way to know is to try it. Yeah, gonna give it a few starts, see what happens. And we are leaking a lot. Of course. Seems like it's mostly from this back one. Alright, gonna watch the review and see how bad it was. So that chrome fuel line, no go, not making a good connection. So I made a quick run down to Jigs, got one of their sets for the AN lines. Hopefully I can get a better connection to that carburetor. I'm gonna get this on now. Alright, I think I'm ready. I've got the fuel line hopefully hooked up correctly, and got the, I guess I don't have it on here yet, but I need to get this hooked up. Alright, I've got my wire that's going directly to the battery hooked up. It's out of the way of the fan. Got the battery hooked up. I've got extra juice from the battery charger hooked up. I'm going to plug that in, and that'll give me hopefully plenty of starting power to get it going. And I've got some starting fluid. So it's now or never, I guess. Time to crank her over. Hopefully we got spark, we've got gas, hopefully we don't have any leaks, and she's going to take off. Fingers crossed. Okay, give it a go.
Do I give it a
No, just go. Try again. Try again. Try again. Go ahead. Try again. Yes! Go, baby, go! Go, baby! Yes! She's running! First time in 23 years! Yes, I'm very happy about that. Smoking a little bit. But yeah. She wants to go, it just needs to get, I need to dial in the timing and all of that. The choke keeps closing. But yeah, that is awesome. Yes, 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 yes. Very excited. Just got some work to do, but there's definitely a fuel leak going on. Got to correct that, but yeah, that's excellent. Sounded good too. Nice and smooth. Oof. And thank you very much to Karen for helping me out. My wife did a good job helping me start the car. But yay. Very excited. Very excited. Thanks to Clayton too. Clayton really helped out a lot. He couldn't be here today, but he was a big help in getting everything basically figured out. And so special thanks to him and to his daughter who got to come over and hang out with us in the last episode. Smoking a little bit. But we got some oil in there. It's sounding pretty good. Did go up to about 230 and then immediately dropped back down. So it started, it was definitely circulating, but it was getting a little warm. And then as soon as I came in to check it, it's just dropped right back down to 190. Starting to smoke a little less. I think that oil is burnt off. Not quite as crazy as it was at all. Still a little bit smoky in here though. First time in 23 years. I can't tell you how happy I am right now. Temperature's staying down. Yeah, it's staying just above 190. Want to run it for as long as I can. Let as much of that oil and crap burn out as it's possible. Do a quick test just to see if she goes into gear, which I don't think I actually want to do because this brake is locked up. Now Now's not the time to check on the transmission. Hey, that's gonna do it. My first will it run, and yes, it did run. Took me quite a few times to get out here and get everything right. Still have a lot of things to clean up, still have a lot of problems to fix. The timing was a little shaky. We had a few leaks going on with the fuel line, just a few drops coming out. I did have some transmission fluid leaking out, but I think I've tightened that down enough that it's not leaking anymore. But yeah, a lot of things to do, but still, I'm so happy. This is the first time in 23 years that she has started up, since 2000. And I wasn't seeing a ton of the white smoke pouring out, which means that maybe the head gasket was not an issue. But I was able to run it for a good 10 minutes, and she maintained temperature, which means that the cooling was working, the water pump and the thermostat opened, and everything was looking good. So yeah, I'm very, very, very excited. I'm not the kind of dude jump up and down and do cartwheels, but man, I am just to the moon and back. Thanks very much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Thanks very much.